Today's simulation, the rise of a Wall Street titan. Have you ever wondered what it takes to control the arteries of the global economy? To move from a disposable pawn to the absolute apex of the financial food chain, it is not about managing money. It is about managing fear. Let me walk you through the 8 stages of a life swallowed by the banking system. Level 1. The disposable cog. It is 5:02 p.m. The fluorescent lights on the ceiling are blinding, casting a sickly, pale glow over the branch. Your hands are trembling slightly as you hold a bridge loan application, missing a crucial, legally required signature. The branch manager stands right behind you. He doesn't say a single word. He just gently taps his index finger against the back of your chair, twice. It is a silent command. You close your eyes, press the heavy ink stamp onto the white paper, and hear that crisp, irreversible thud. You sit behind a pane of bulletproof glass, processing $3 million in cash every single day, yet your paycheck is barely $40,000 a year. Your fingertips are calloused from counting other people's wealth. Your eyes twitch from the strain. This is the golden rule at the bottom of the pyramid: total, unquestioning obedience. You thought banks managed wealth? You were wrong. They manage discipline. You are nothing but the cheapest, most replaceable asset in a multi-trillion-dollar machine. You feel a spike of anxiety, but beneath it a dark, quiet thrill. You just crossed a line, and the sky didn't fall. Level 2. The wealth predator. The silk tie around your neck feels like a noose. You are sitting on a plush leather sofa in a private VIP room. Sitting across from you is a retired school teacher, drowning in a sea of medical debt, staring at his final bank statement with hollow eyes. Using the most sincere, compassionate voice you can muster, you are pitching him a highly toxic, subprime-backed trust product. You dangle an 8% yield in front of him, looking him dead in the eyes and promising, "It is absolutely safe." You don't even blink. The moment his pen leaves the paper, your terminal flashes. Your commission, $20,000. Just like that, you are now a wealth management advisor. You have learned how to calculate a human being's exact net worth just by glancing at the scratches on their watch face and the wear on the soles of their shoes. You realize the devastating truth. In this room, empathy is a fatal handicap. Sales quotas are a blood-soaked whip. You start camouflaging yourself in tailored suits. You intercept heavy glasses of expensive liquor for your clients at extravagant dinners, and then vomit tears into bathroom sinks. The innocence peels away. What replaces it is an insatiable, ravenous hunger. Level 3. The corporate gatekeeper. 2 a.m. The darkness swallows your car in the damp, echoing underground parking garage of the financial district. A black SUV rolls down its tinted window. A heavy leather briefcase is casually tossed onto your passenger seat. Inside, $300,000 in unmarked, untraceable bills. This is the lubrication required for a $50 million corporate credit line. Your palms are completely drenched in sweat. You kick the briefcase under the seat. You are now the director of corporate credit. You hold the absolute power of life and death over local industries. You have discovered the first mutation of power, the asymmetry of information. You know exactly which company's cash flow is bleeding out and who is begging for a lifeline in the dark. The rules of the game have shifted. It is no longer about pitching products. It is about trading favors. High-end dinners transform into slaughterhouses for resource restructuring. They call you a financial genius, but you know the truth. What they actually fear is the ink from your pen. You stop sleeping. You lie awake, terrified that the FBI will knock on your door at midnight. Your moral boundaries are stretched, warped, and eventually torn into a bottomless black hole. You whisper to yourself in the dark, "Everyone else is doing it." Level 4. The regional baron. You are sitting at the head of a sprawling mahogany dining table. To your left is the city's largest real estate tycoon. To your right, a senior financial regulator. You no longer touch dirty leather briefcases. That is amateur hour. You are now the regional vice president. The currency you deal in has evolved. It is now about leverage, favors, and devastating secrets. You use the bank's massive capital to build your own empire. You quietly orchestrate a massive bridge loan to cover a toxic black hole for the real estate mogul. In return, your wife's Shadow LLC in Delaware receives a perfectly legal consulting fee of $100,000 every single month. You have mastered the art of using others as human shields. Bad debt is just a phantom number. You have dozens of accounting tricks to wipe it off the balance sheet. You hold their deepest vulnerabilities, the addresses of their mistresses, the routing numbers of their offshore accounts. Mutual terror is the glue that keeps your circle intact. When a young, bright-eyed compliance officer refuses to cook the books, you fire him in exactly 1 second. The deeper you sink into the mud, the more immaculate your tailored suit becomes. Level 5, the Wall Street Mastermind. You stand before the floor-to-ceiling windows of your corner office, looking down at the yellow taxis crawling like tiny insects on the avenues of Manhattan. You are a managing director. You no longer care about commissions. You control credit facilities worth tens of billions of dollars. With a single, whispered phone call, you can snap the supply chains of industry leaders, forcing them into hostile takeovers by your private equity friends. You never touch physical cash anymore. Money is just a flashing green code on a terminal. It is a political bargaining chip. Your life has become a heavily fortified bunker. You carry 3 encrypted phones to communicate with different layers of the underworld. You trust absolutely no one. Your marriage is nothing more than a strategic tax-optimized contract. Your heart rate remains at a slow, terrifyingly cold frequency. Sometimes you think back to that young, sweating teller stamping papers behind the bulletproof glass. It feels like remembering a dead stranger. You have no way back. At this altitude, if you stop moving, you die. The wolves below you will tear you to pieces. Level 6. The Architect of Ruin. The heavy oak doors are sealed shut. There are no windows in this private boardroom. You are now the global head of asset management. Your opponents are no longer rival bankers. You are playing against the macroeconomic cycle itself. You are the puppet master of the shadow banking system. You take highly toxic, high-risk subprime mortgages, package them together in a maze of complex derivatives, and magically stamp them as AAA-rated CDOs. Then, you sell them to the pension funds of millions of hard-working, clueless teachers and firefighters. You have built a colossal dam of phantom capital, robbing Peter to pay Paul. As long as the music is playing, the party never stops. You are entirely insulated by armies of corporate lawyers. If the market implodes, the disposable cogs at level 2 and level 4 will be led away in handcuffs. To you, the law is just an instruction manual for finding loopholes. Holding this godlike power, you slip into extreme, clinical megalomania. Watching your former rivals go bankrupt and jump from high-rise balconies, you feel absolutely nothing. Your capacity for empathy has been surgically removed. You are the living embodiment of predatory capitalism. Level 7. The ghost in the machine, the board of directors, the inner sanctum. You no longer need to raise your voice. A slight shift in your gaze is enough to instantly terminate a billion-dollar project. You have entered the absolute core of global decision-making. You don't play by the rules anymore, you write them. You weaponize regulatory compliance to completely annihilate your competitors. You use legal restructuring to purge anyone who isn't blindly loyal. You become a ghost. Your name rarely appears in the mainstream media. But within the ultra-elite 1%, your name commands absolute, immeasurable terror. It is freezing at the top. There are no friends, only permanent interests. Every sentence you speak has 3 layers of hidden meaning. Every smile conceals a razor blade. You are profoundly, agonizingly alone. You cannot even let out a heavy sigh, because the secrets locked inside your head could trigger a panic in the global financial markets. Every night, you are forced into unconsciousness by heavy doses of prescription sedatives. Your dreams are haunted by ruined entrepreneurs and the loyal subordinates currently serving federal prison sentences in your place. But when you wake up, you put the mask back on. You are trapped inside a golden cage of your own flawless design. Level 8. The void. Absolute silence. You sit alone in a minimalist, ultra-secure penthouse, looking down at the sprawling, glittering grid of the city night. You have reached the very top of the pyramid. You are no longer a banker. You are an architect of reality. One phone call from this room can manipulate a nation's interest rate. One decision can alter the destiny of millions. But inside, you feel a suffocating, terrifying emptiness. There is no action left, only observation. You have become a god, an untouchable, invisible symbol. You catch your own reflection in the cold glass, hollow, paralyzed. Staring out into the endless void, your hands rest on a desk that commands the world. This is the ultimate price. You gained the entire world, but you completely erased your own soul. You realize, with a sickening drop in your stomach, that you never manipulated the system. The system manipulated you. It swallowed you whole and turned you into its host. Somewhere, in a rundown, fluorescent-lit retail branch on the edge of the city, a brand new teller has just started his shift. He is holding a bridge loan application, missing a legally required signature. Beads of sweat form on his forehead. The branch manager stands silently behind him and gently taps his index finger against the back of the chair, twice. The heavy glass doors of the bank have been locked from the inside. The young man thinks he understands the game he is playing.